Hey, what's going on, guys? Seth here with Christ in Sports, and as you can see, we'll be reading Hosea 3 today. Really short and condensed chapter. It's 5 verses long, and some of the things we're going to be talking about is God's continued love, a prophecy, and a post-exile, which might give way to the prophecy. So with that said, let's read this really long chapter. Hosea 3, verse 1. And the Lord said to me, "Go again, love a woman who is loved by another man and is an adulteress, even as the Lord loves the children of Israel, though they turn to other gods and love cakes of raisins." So I bought her for 15 shekels of silver and a homer and a lethek of barley. And I said to her, "You must dwell as mine for many days. You shall not play the whore or belong to another man. So will I also be to you. For the children of Israel shall dwell many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or pillar, without ephod or household gods. Afterward, the children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and they shall come in fear to the Lord and to his goodness in the later days." All right. So off the bat, God's continued love. So God calls Hosea to continue to love his adulterous wife, his prostitute wife, just like God continues to love us, his adulterous and prostitute people. And what this looks like is how how Hosea has to buy her back so that he can love her. Kind of like how someone had to buy us with a payment of blood. Yeah, that's right, Jesus Christ. That's right, who came down and died on the cross for paying our sins with his blood. So too, Hosea had to pay for his wife back. That's God's continued love, is how he continues to love us and pays for us despite our whoredom and our idolatry. Then the prophecy in verse 4. For the children of Israel shall dwell many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or pillar, without ephod or household gods. What I think about is I kind of think the days of Nehemiah, where they don't have anywhere to go, or they don't have any temple or anything, but they are still God's people. So they have rejected the household gods, but they just don't have anywhere to go. That's what I think. You might want to do some more research on that for yourself, but that requires you to do your own reading. Then the post-exile in verse 5. Afterward, after the exile, the children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and they shall come in fear to the Lord and to his goodness in the later days. So, after this exile, God's children will come back to him. Right? So, remember that mending that we talked about last chapter? It will happen after this exile, post-exile. But what this might look like is that this points to Jesus restoring the relationship with God after the exile with Rome. Because of the exile and the spiritual darkness, when Christ, the rightful heir of David's throne, the rightful king, when he restores the faith, not restoring the faith, but after he comes back and we can seek God through Jesus, then we will be mended in our relationship after our exile. So with that said, recap, God continues to love us despite our sin. Despite our constant adulterous ways, God still loves us and will buy us. But I will say something that I didn't talk about first time through is that when Hosea buys his wife back, he commands her to be loyal. Hosea commands his adulterous wife to be loyal to him for some time. In the same way, too, we as Christians who have been bought by the blood of Christ, we too are called to be faithful and loyal to Christ as well. And that is God's continued love, that he continues to buy us back. Then we have the prophecy in the Post-Exile about how there is a time to come, and then there's a mending after that. And we see that played out. So, with all that said, I encourage you to read it for yourself so that you can double check me on a few things. But that's Hosea 3. Really long chapter.